People are opening emails right now that don't look scary at first. It's just a normal company email. You'll see a normal subject line, maybe a title like team update. And then halfway through the sentence, your stomach, it just drops because suddenly this isn't just a meeting invite anymore. It's your income disappearing. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you why this job market doesn't just feel bad, it feels fake. Because on paper, they keep telling us everything's fine. They keep telling us that unemployment is low, that jobs are being added, that the economy is strong. But in real life, people are refreshing LinkedIn like it's a slot machine with student loans attached. And the scariest part is not just that people are losing jobs. It's that a lot of the jobs they're applying for may not even be real. And that's where this starts getting dark because white-collar payrolls have reportedly declined for 31 straight months. 31. That's not just a rough week. That's not just a little softening. That's like 2.5 years of the kind of slow bleeding people usually don't recognize until the carpet's already ruined. And somehow, every month, we still get the same little economic lullaby. Don't worry, everything's fine, but fine where exactly? Because it does not look fine at the kitchen table when someone who used to make a solid salary is now staring at a severance email, a mortgage payment and a car note, 2 kids' expenses, and a grocery bill that walked in wearing designer sunglasses. The financial sector has been getting hit. Tech has been getting hit. Professional and business services have stalled, and the official numbers keep getting revised downward, like the government saying, actually, remember that good news we gave you? Funny story. And that's what people are reacting to. It's not just layoffs. It's the betrayal of the story. Because if the economy is so strong, why do so many people feel like they're one email away from moving back into their childhood bedroom? And then job openings start collapsing. Professional and business service openings falling below levels we haven't seen since lockdown era chaos. And that matters because these aren't just numbers. These are real people. We're talking about real households. These are people who built their entire lives around the idea that if they got the degree, got the job, got the benefits, stayed professional, stayed loyal, and stayed productive, that they would be safe. But now, the whole promise is starting to look like a brochure from a company that already went bankrupt. And yes, people blame AI. And AI is a part of all this, but it's not just AI. It's companies realizing they can redesign jobs, remove tasks, cut people, outsource roles, reduce pay, and then tell the remaining employees, hey, congratulations, you survived. Now do these 3 extra jobs with the emotional stability of a hostage. And that's the modern raise. That's the new raise. One person said it perfectly. And he basically looked at his boss and says, what's my raise this year? And he turns around and looks at him and goes, you're not getting fired. That's going to be your raise. And that's funny because it's horrible in reality. And it's horrible because it's true. The unemployment number doesn't even tell you about the person who just took a lower paying job just to survive. It doesn't tell you about the person working 2 jobs to replace 1 salary. It does not tell you about the person who stopped applying because the rejection emails started feeling so personal. It doesn't tell you about the guy with 15 years of white-collar experience saying the job market feels like the bottom of the ocean. And then people say, well, healthcare jobs are growing, but okay, fair enough. But if the biggest growth is healthcare and social assistance, doesn't that tell you something about the condition of the country itself? I mean, that means more people are sick. It means more people need help. More people are falling through the cracks. And that's not an economy flexing. That's an economy coughing into a napkin and pretending it's just allergies. And the white-collar worker who loses a job cannot just magically become a home health aide tomorrow. That's not how life works. That is not how anything works. You don't go from financial analyst to elder care worker overnight like you're switching Netflix profiles. There's so much involved. There's training involved. There's your identity. There's the income shock. There's pride and panic involved. There's the moment you sit in the driveway before going inside because you don't know how to tell your family the numbers changed. And now even the people who still have jobs are being squeezed. They're facing lower pay. They're facing less paid time off. They have reduced parental leave, reduced pensions, fewer benefits, fewer perks. They have return to office mandates. The free lunch is gone. The gym membership's gone. The office culture went from we're a family to bring your own coffee and don't make eye contact with the budget. And companies are doing it because they can. Because when workers are scared, leverage disappears. People stop quitting, people stop negotiating, people stop saying, I deserve better. And they start saying, please don't fire me next. And that is a very different type of labor market. And it changes how people live. It changes everything. It changes marriages, parenting. It changes how people sleep. It changes the tone in the house. And at some point, couples stop saying, where should we go on vacation? And they end up saying, which bill can wait? That's when the economy stops being a headline and starts becoming room temperature. You feel it in the house. And now you have companies like Amazon reportedly closing facilities for renovations, offering transfers 50 miles away or more. And people are accepting because what else are they supposed to do? Think about that. A person with kids, a mortgage, a school routine, and a life now has to decide whether to drive an extra 50 miles just to keep the job they already had. And that is not flexibility. That's desperation with a gas receipt. And when companies say, hey, we're not laying off people right now, we're offering relocation, that sounds nice on paper, I guess, but in real life, that means someone is standing in their kitchen saying, so either I commute forever, uproot the family, or lose the paycheck. And that's not a choice. That's a hostage negotiation with benefits. And automation is sitting in the background of all of this. Companies say upgrades. Workers hear fewer humans. And honestly, people aren't crazy for thinking that. Because everywhere you look right now, service is starting to get worse. Apps don't work, websites are broken, customer service is a chatbot named Ashley who never solved a problem in her digital life. But you better not miss your insurance payment. You better not miss your mortgage. You better not miss the bill. The company can now automate the help out of existence. But the payment portal, I'm sure that still works perfectly the same.